What's going on, guys? It's your Route 1 Encounter, your Bar Eradicate, and I'm going to talk a little bit now about the changes that happened for my characters in Pokken DX patch 1.3.2. Had to get that out there. And we're going to start with Blastoise and move on to Mewtwo and Scizor, and then we're going to do a little bit of honorable mentions for a couple characters that I'm really excited for. And characters that I don't personally play, but I'm excited to see do well in the future. So let's get right into it real quick. Try to make this as short as possible. So Blastoise got a couple of really nice buffs. He got his... So normally in field phase, his JX was this, where he travel full screen and drop kind of slow. But now he can drop fast. And he can drop like super fast, like super quick off the ground. So now he actually has like a grab punish, which is nice because he couldn't really grab punish before. And I think that was a really... One of his like... I think that's like going to be one of his biggest changes, is that this is a really big deal. Because now we can actually punish lows and, you know, like Mewtwo's counter. We can punish stuff like that and we can grab punish. So, really good change for Blastoise. He also received a new move, which is kind of a new move. He got an upwards Aura Sphere. So, normally he had Water Gun Aura Sphere and it was neutral like that. Now he has 5A and then 4A does an upwards Aura Sphere. And this does do slightly more damage. I tested by, what was it? If you do 6x into 5A Aura Sphere, it does like 158, and it does like 164 with the anti-air Aura Sphere. It's hard to land the 5AA on the ground like this, but yeah, see, that does 158, and then if you do the anti-air, it does 164. So, surprised I remember those numbers, but so he has an anti-air Aura Sphere now, which is really neat, and then in burst mode, it'll be hard to show you because I don't have, I mean, I could find some prior footage, but I don't really have any readily available. But they increased his movement speed in burst mode. So now his walk speed is like legit. He walks like a normal character now. Like this is like Lucario's default walk speed, but he has this in burst now. So he can actually kind of like move around and position himself for water spout, position himself for like, you know, step out of range and then do that thing. So I think that this change is really nice. Definitely the two biggest changes are the walk speed increase and the JX. I don't know how good the anti-air Aura Sphere is. I think it'll be very matchup dependent. I think against Charizard it's really good because I was able to bait. I played like one match against a Charizard, and I was able to bait Flare Blitz full screen with Water Gun because Flare Blitz like eats everything. So I was able to Flare Blitz and then punish it with Aura Sphere. But against other characters, like maybe Decidueye might be good, but it'll punish people trying to jump over Water Gun primarily. So they actually have to respect Water Gun now, which is awesome because Dragon Pulse is not super real in terms of an anti-air because it's so slow and you become airborne. That's another good feature, is that you become airborne when you Dragon Pulse, but now, which would trigger Rotom, but now you don't have to trigger Rotom in order to anti-air off of Water Gun, and you don't always have to cancel away after you do that with Rotom out. So the 5A, 4A buff is cool. It's going to be really useful, but we'll just have to see how useful it is in the future. But yeah, so that's Blastoise. Exciting stuff. We'll go on to Mewtwo next. I'm just going to do this as all one video so I don't have to edit this. Mewtwo got some new stuff that I really hope I can actually show off and I'm not like complete garbage. Because Mewtwo is now a higher execution character than he was before. In DX he received, or no, in 1.6 maybe, Arcade. In one of the previous patches he received a new Just Frame on his 2XX, which is that right there. I just realized my sound is off too. So enjoy that. Let's just bring the sound back real quick. Why don't we just bring the sound back real quick? There we go. How's that? Do that. Okay. How's that? Yeah, it's fine. So Mewtwo got his new Just Frame, and as you can see, if you look at the meter down there, if I can do it properly, now it gains about 10 CC, I believe is the actual number for that, but it's about 5% of your meter. And he has a new Just Frame on 6YX. That's not too hard to do, but it's kind of tricky. And I'm not going to be able to do it in this video. There it is. So that one also gains about 5%. It gains a little bit more than 2XX, but I think it's because of the Yeah, it's because of the counter into the Just Frame. But it gains a decent amount of meter. It's not as exciting as I was hoping for. When I was reading the patch notes, you heard I was like, yeah, Mewtwo's a high technical synergy character now. But honestly, it doesn't really do that much. The biggest one, I think, is that off of Side Strike Just Frames, you now gain about 10% of your meter, which is really cool. Like, that right there is decent meter gain. So that's really cool. Instead of losing meter for doing Side Strike, now you gain meter. And now combos like doing 2x combos is going to be more important, and ending in 6yx, which obviously I'm still really bad at the 2x Just Frame because haven't been playing Mewtwo as much. Starting to get back into the character, but those buffs, in addition to the 20% that you get off of Drain Punch in Field Phase and the 10% you get off Drain Punch in Dual Phase, I think it'll make things really nice because my IAD isn't even working right. But you can already do stuff like this to gain a lot of synergy in Dual Phase. So Mewtwo's going to get burst a lot more frequently now, especially with good resource management. And I think that was all the changes that Mewtwo got. I don't recall any others. Because I think it was like, yeah, he got a new move, which was 6yx. Or no, what was it? He got the new Just Frame, and he got the synergy boost on all of his things. Oh, the other change was that in burst mode, when you call Rotom, and then if you call a support like that stays out, like Magikarp or Rotom, and then you go into burst afterwards, it gets rid of that support. So now you have to go into burst and then call support, rather than the other way around. So, which isn't a big deal. Doesn't really change much. One of the buffs that they gave that doesn't really affect Scizor directly, but affects me directly, because this is how I've been playing the character, because I'm a degenerate, is that Mega Rayquaza got buffed from 170 damage to 180, and now requires about 10 CC less to call, because Mega Rayquaza costs synergy, and now it requires less synergy, and well, it doesn't require, like, you can do it from nothing like this, but now it costs less synergy to use, and it does more damage. So it does 180 full screen and 189 point blank, which is neat. But Scizor, however, got some pretty substantial buffs. His 5AA is now dash cancelable, which is really cool, especially in Field Phase. You can throw the swords out and then move in and counter, and you are a threat now. I mentioned it in my other video, but Scizor is a threat, and I can't... Why can't I counter out of that? I know you can counter out of that. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so you're a threat now, especially because in addition to the 5AA cancel, he now has a new charge move, which is Bug Bite, just raw. And you can do it in Field Phase or Dual Phase, and you can still dash cancel it, which is really nice. And then, did he get anything else? Let me pull up the patch notes real quick. If you have the patch notes, you can follow along. But I think that this is a really good change for Scizor. This makes his neutral a little bit more threatening now. Because he can play it kind of like Mewtwo, where he can throw projectiles and then retreat. And he's not just stuck there after Swords Dancing every time. And you can also, if you're close up, you can actually like combo off of it into Hover Y. I know you can do it. I've done it before. Yeah, there you go. So you can combo off of it now. On block, like close range on block, you can now cancel it and be safe on block with it, which is really nice. Or you can always cancel it and move away. You can, of course, cancel it in any hover move. My hover cancels have been really bad recently, but it's fine. Patch notes. 2x has more block stun, which increases the pushback from the wall if you splat with this move. Better positioning for Scizor combos. I haven't really noticed this too much. He got more pushback, but it already did a shit ton of pushback, but there it is now. So there you have it. Homing 1 got reduced recovery and reduced hit stun, which also is something that I don't notice a whole lot because I'm still new to playing this character. Again, well, I'm back to playing the character. See my other video, the call-out video. And then Hover Turn fixed the bug where inputting Hover Turn would cause you to U-turn in certain situations or something. The biggest thing that I like about the 5AA cancel is you can 5AA backdash cancel and then do Mega Rayquaza. And this way, if the opponent blocks it or gets hit by the 5AA, they can be punished for it, or they can be comboed into. And Mega Rayquaza still does a shit ton of block damage, like shield damage. chip damage rather, not shield damage. That is a different thing, if you didn't know. But yeah, so you can see right there, lots of chip off of Mega Rayquaza, especially with the damage buff. And additionally, if you were to steal buffs from the opponent with Bug Bite, Mega Rayquaza is affected by Rage and status conditions. So if you have Attack up and or Rage, or like the Burst Mode damage increase, Mega Ray does do more damage. So that's really cool. I think that I've been playing across my characters, since I don't really talk about, I haven't gotten around to doing like an actual what I do with my characters kind of video yet. For Blastoise, I have been running, in terms of support for Blastoise, you can run a lot of things. I think that Snivy Lapras is really good for certain matchups. I think Lapras is really good against Aegislash and Decidueye, because it's so big and it does a lot of damage and counter pierces and destroys projectiles. Snivy is really good because it's a nice, anti-air counter option that isn't Rapid Spin. As long as you don't get grabbed out of it, it's, as long as you're not too predictable or use it in ways you're not supposed to. As long as you use it correctly, Snivy's a pretty good thing for Blastoise, especially because he can combo into Hydro Pump with it, which is nice. Hydro Pump does decent damage. Eevee is always a good support because Eevee gives you attack buff, so you can still hit burst opponents with lights. I'm sure Frogadier has crazy setups that I haven't figured out yet, but Frogadier is always good for pressure, especially for Blastoise being a really strong Oki character. There's probably a lot there that I haven't figured out because I personally am really bad with Frogadier. Cubone is really nice because you get mid-screen poke, mid-screen pressure, which is really nice. Sylveon, you just become immortal. Defense buff on Blastoise's 660 health, he just becomes immortal. We have I use Ninetales a lot because Ninetales is invincible in startup and creates a shield that eats projectiles in front of you, and opponents can't walk into it because it does damage. So you can turtle up really well with Ninetales, or if you're in the other position and the opponent's against the wall, you can place Ninetales to create a barrier where they can't walk past, which forces them to jump, which forces them to eat Hydro Pump or Water Spout. And if they're stuck behind the thing in the corner, then you can also just Water Spout Chip for free, which is really cool. Rotom is nice because people like to jump at Blastoise. Togekiss is nice because it lets you play footsies with Water Spout, which is playing footsies with Blastoise is like crazy talk, but it's a thing. Farfetch is always a good support because mid-screen poke combos into cool things. Electrode is really good against zoners because against Braixen's JY or whatever, you just call Electrode and then you Water Gun, Shell Cancel forward, and approach for free. Dragonite Oki is awesome because Blastoise is a really good shield damage with his 2X's to hit that break shield. He has a lot of good shield damage moves off of that. V-Create, Victini is really strong because your crit bonus not only gives you the counter armor on Water Pulse, but additionally it makes your crit 4Y launches as Blastoise. And off of that you can get a lot of damage. So Victini is really fun. Umbreon's fine as a reversal. Quagsire chip setups with Quagsire and Water Spout are really strong. As you saw in the Scats video, he actually suggested to me that Yveltal is really good against like Charizard in particular. So Yveltal is something I want to mess with more because Yveltal stuns for a long time and it lets you get full 5x combos, or you can do cool setups with it. Latios is really nice because week 1 everybody had those videos of if you call Latios in field and then you just drop fucking Water Spout after Water Spout after Water Spout, and they're just stuck there and they have to take the chip damage. You can do like a lot in chip because Water Spout does like 60 chip, I think. It's a lot. But Latios is really good for and against Blastoise. Blastoise is too fat to walk out of Latios in field phase, which is ridiculous. And I don't think you can Rapid Spin out of it either. So you're kind of just trapped there and you have to hold shield. So for anybody fighting Blastoise, there you go. Mega Rayquaza is cool. The only thing is that it does shorten your burst mode if you're in burst. So it's not good for pressure in burst. And I think Blastoise's burst mode being better now, I don't want to use Mega Ray too much for him. I haven't messed with Mimikyu too much, but Mimikyu's cool. I've used him a little bit as Scizor, and he's cool for like, you stay over there, and you just place him and he just does what he's supposed to do. Mew is really, really good in general, but especially for Blastoise because you do get the attack and crit potentially. And the crit is good for your crit 4Y, if nothing else. But additionally, you do get the extra damage potentially and the counter armor on your Water Pulse, your 2A command grab. So those are the supports I've generally been running for Blastoise. As far as cheers, I run support cheer because I think Blastoise gets a lot of utility out of a lot of different supports for a lot of matchups. I think that it's really useful to have your support in the beginning of the round because sometimes getting that momentum is what you need to win the match. Especially for Blastoise, he's such a strong Oki character. Oki being your options on the opponent's wake up, your pressure on their wake up. So I think that's really good for Blastoise. Any one of those supports, depending on the matchup. You can even run Patchy for like to avoid Will-O-Wisp from Chandelure. The only problem being that it only lasts like 3 seconds, so it doesn't get you a whole lot because like once you get rid of Wisp, they're gonna do something else because they know that you only have so many ways to approach. But the other thing is that with Shandy in particular, you can 6x and she can't punish it. So you can kind of just rando 6x in neutral when Wisp isn't a factor, unless you're going to get Smog, but on block she can't punish you. So that's something to think about. Patchy's good. I don't get how to use Magikarp really, but Magikarp is a thing. So I don't know. Lots of utility with Blastoise and his supports. But I should really mention that in a Blastoise video. But anyway, as far as Mewtwo goes, I have been running Mewtwo with Mew because Mew's just the best. Mew's amazing. Obviously, Togekiss, if you watch Internationals recently, Togekiss is amazing. You can set up unblockable shit with Rotom because now when you go into burst mode and you call Rotom, the opponent has to stand there and take the burst attack, or they have to jump and get caught by Rotom, and then your burst attack whiffs, but then you just do a 100 or 250 damage Mewtwo combo anyway. And like, it's really strong. But that requires that you get burst, which Mew helps with getting burst because of the synergy gain. Togekiss is really good for footsies and full screen super fast homing attacks, like amazing homing attacks. It lets you walk in and out of Fire Punch range really nicely, which is cool. Electrode is good for zoners, like I said before. Mewtwo with a Farfetch'd with the mid-screen poke, especially in a field phase, is really powerful. A safe mid-screen poke with Farfetch'd is really strong for Mewtwo. And I used Umbreon to deal with Garchomp previously, but Garchomp's Dig got a buff, and now Umbreon is not a thing, really. I mean, you can still use Umbreon to relieve pressure when the opponent is already doing a move to you on Wake Up, but Garchomp can dig underneath Umbreon, and he's completely invincible for like most of the dig animation now. So Umbreon took a little bit of a hit in terms of fighting Garchomp and in terms of dig, but Umbreon is really good reversal support for Mewtwo since its Side Strike is so unsafe and Fire Punch is punishable, and all of his reversal options and his counterattack being a low. It's really nice to have Umbreon or Fennekin, but Fennekin is like much more punishable than Umbreon, especially if you're fighting another Mewtwo because they have Hyper Beam. That's a thing. What other supports for Mewtwo? Lapras is always good for Aegislash and Decidueye. That's just a thing in general. And Cubone. Cubone's a good support poke in general. Pretty nice. But I've mostly been running Mew and Farfetch'd or Togekiss or Umbreon, I think. So that's my Mewtwo support. I use Special Cheer for Mewtwo, so if I win, I get 40% meter, which helps with my synergy gain, especially with the new Just Frames and the Drain Punch buffs from previous patches. Mewtwo can get burst more consistently now, which is really nice because his burst mode is really strong outside of his JY becoming a little bit worse but having different utility. So that's how I play Mewtwo mostly. And for Scizor, I have actually been running, and no memes, no jokes aside, I've actually been running Mega Rayquaza primarily because of the 5AA punish with Mega Ray. Because if you see counter armor, you don't even have to do it. Like I was saying, you can do it for chip damage, but you don't even have to do it preemptively. You can throw your 5AA and then just wait, and if you see blue, just call Mega Ray. And they can dash cancel to take less damage. They can, if they block, they can jump to take less damage, but they're still taking damage, right? And the only downside to Mega Ray is that he shortens your burst, or he makes it harder for you to get burst. So you have to be careful with him, and he's only one use also. Mega Ray is single use only, because that's how legendary summons or legendary supports work in this game now, because Reshram's like that. Cresselia's like that. Yveltal's like that. Latios is like that. So that's unfortunate, but he is really good he can get you 180 damage like immediately in field phase, like first or second game, whatever. It's a big deal. And like the pushback on block is pretty amazing too, so it's good for keeping opponents away from you, especially for Scizor with your 5AA cancel. Now you can backdash away and make things even safer. So I think that Mega Ray is legitimately a really good support for Scizor, and the reason I say no memes is because I'm also running Whimsical, but Whimsical is also like way more godlike than people would think. It's not broken like people I made that joke video about should we ban Whimsical. It's not ban worthy, it's not crazy, but it's a really good support, or support cheer rather, and especially because I can't choose between special and support for Scizor, so I just go Whimsical because either or is fine, honestly, a lot of the time. Maybe for specific matchups, if you need burst to deal with the situation, like Breaks In or something like that, then it might be more worth it to run special. But that's how I play it. Additionally, with Scizor, I run Snivy is always good because if you anti-air with Snivy, you get a JY combo. Lapras is good for Decidueye and Aegislash always. Eevee is really strong because when opponents go into burst, if you call Eevee, your bullet punches still have hit stun, and you don't have to be in burst. And just in general, Scizor gets really high damage off of Swords combos with Eevee. So I think that's really good. And then, yeah, Electrode for zoners. But mostly... Oh, you can also combo off of... If you use Cubone from certain ranges and it hits, you can actually Swords Dance and then combo into Hover Y, which is really cool. I can actually show that real quick, just to show that I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't lie to you. But yeah, so that's pretty much my support for Scizor. I'm using almost exclusively Mega Ray now, just cause I think it's fun. But if you call Cubone, you can Swords Dance. Oh, especially now, I didn't even think about this, but we could Cubone and then we could 5AA. Oh, look at that. 113 off Cubone. Yo, we got new combo paths. But even beforehand, you could Cubone and then Swords Dance and then Hover Y into your shit, right? And there you go. Even that does 131. What the hell? Okay. Well, yeah, so Cubone's a thing. But I'm running Mega Ray now because I can just get 180, you know? But that's all of my characters. And real quick before we close it up and I go to edit my other video, I want to mention that Weavile's 6Y is Weavile's forward Y from field phase, but now he has 6Y is a mid-screen normal for Weavile, which is between -8 and 0 on block, which is really great for Weavile. It's a pretty cool combo tool as well. Ranges that he couldn't reach before during combos are now accessible. Charizard's J6Y, the tail swipe, destroys projectiles now. I'm so excited to see what like Scats and Jab Punch and Zephyral and other Charizards can do with that, because it destroys Psycho Cut and stuff like that. I think it destroys Dragon Pulse from Blastoise, and I'm pretty sure Zyro told me that it destroys Aurora Beam, which I don't know if that's true or not, and I'm not going to test it right now because I'm in a hurry, but it destroys a lot of projectiles, so that's really cool. His 5x got better, so his 5x is like an actual poke now. It's safe now. It's not -16, I believe. It has more pushback or something like that. I'm not positive, actually. Let me double check patch notes real quick. Blastoise, Decidueye, Empoleon, Scizor, Krogunk, Darkrai, Shadow Mewtwo, Breaks In, Garchomp, Sceptile, Chandelure, Charizard, Flare Blitz has more block stun, so you don't get blown up as hard for that anymore. 5x does have increased block stun, so yes, it's safer on block now, so 5x is a true poke, and probably really good for Oki as well. And you can actually flight cancel. You can glide cancel out of 5x, which I didn't know about, but that was a couple patches ago as well. So Charizard got a lot of cool fun stuff. Inferno, his 4Y or 4A rather, the Fire Sweep, does a speed debuff now and has increased range. Still not amazing, but a speed debuff is neat. It hits 3 times, and each hit does a 3-second speed debuff, so you can get up to 9 seconds of speed debuff. But Inferno's not a very good move in general, so we'll see how useful that is, but that's a thing now. Garchomp got the biggest glow up of Pokken, and I am going to show this one because if you haven't seen the Twitter videos, you need to see this. This buff is wild. It is insane. And I didn't tweet it because everybody else had already tweeted it, but this buff is insane. So we're going to go into dual phase. We're going to set Shadow Mewtwo to charge Psywave, and then Slash, and then Vortex, right? Slash and Vortex. And now we're going to set him to do that action with our handy-dandy command input replay. This is how you test things, kids. You block, and then you dig. And now you can just punish Vortex. And not only that, but you can combo off of dig now as well. And when you are in burst or on crit, dig now does the same launch, and you can combo off of it. You can do the charge drill thing. You can do burst. I haven't actually done this yet, but because I'm not good at the charge. Oh god. You can combo into that, but I'm not Puppy Havoc, so I'm not going to try it too hard. So, but yeah, you can. There we go, and then you can do whatever. So, Garchomp got a big glow up, dog. That shit's amazing, and I'm so excited for Garchomp players because everyone's like buff dig, and Pokemon Company never, or you know, Hoshino, the Pokken team never really gave dig that much. I think they made it worse at one point, like they made it like extra grabbable or something. But now dig has projectile invincibility through like almost the entire thing. So if somebody calls Umbreon, like I was mentioning about Umbreon and Fennekin, if somebody calls Umbreon or Fennekin, you can punish it with dig now. Like, if they call it and you, like, step backwards and don't get hit by it, you can just dig right underneath it and get crit. Or not crit, but you can punish with it. Like, it's super cool. Shadow Mewtwo got reduced health cost on his specials. So, it costs him, like 10 HP to Miracle Eye now, which is awesome. Machamp got a new charge move, which I'll show Machamp stuff too, because it's actually really cool. Machamp got some new stuff, and I'm happy to be able to, in this video, announce the name of Machamp's new move. So Machamp got a new Air Grab. So this is his normal Air Grab, right? And then if you input back an Air Grab, he does this. So we now have a character with an Air Dashing Command Grab, and that character is Machamp. So everyone be prepared to deal with that. And you can do it in field phase as well. And not only that, but it is actually... Fun fact. It is actually affected by speed increases. So you can approach super fast. And not only that, but his JX in general in field phase got faster travel speed. So now it's much faster. But if we do put the speed debuff on, or the speed buff on, now he's super fast. Like, you can probably punish full screen things on a reaction in field phase now with his JX, which is really exciting. But additionally, besides all that, he did get a new move as well, which is his Charge X, which has been named by Alistair the Heave Ho, because we heave ho, and then you can do whatever you want after that. So he does have the Heave Ho now. This is King's Atlas Hammer from Tekken. It is also the second hit of 4A or 4XX rather. So he now has that as a move he can do out of 4XX. It does have invulnerability frame 1, temporary invulnerability frame 1 on startup. So you can go through like Chandelures Will-O-Wisp, and it has pretty decent range. So like, that's a really good tool, and Gorson's gonna annihilate people with that. But so that's a big Machamp buff. Blaziken's Air Dash can go up or down now, and so Blaziken can make 8Y safe off of with that Air Dash. So if we do hopefully I can do it, because I was having a really hard time with the Air Dashes last night, but Blaziken got that and less pushback on JY, so now JY doesn't push back as far, and you can also cancel JY into JA. You can cancel JY into Pokemon moves basically, so you can do this into JA. Why can't I? So whack, but No, that's not what I want. So we do this, air dash, and then that. So you can, that's not how you use that, but I'm bad, so don't worry about it. But anyway, you can unblock. If we set Pikachu to block, and then attack, we can now make our shit safe. What? Huh. I thought you could make that safe. Well, you can also, you can air dash upwards as well. So, but there's a lot of combo opportunities with that now, where you can do that and then pressure with JY. That's how it's safe. So you can, yeah, you can do that and then pressure with JY. And if they counter, then you can just land and block it. So it's really cool. Then you can do that into, oh jeez, do that. Oh, so yeah, now he has a neutral air dash that doesn't drop like it did before, because it used to, when you would do the 8x air dash, you would drop. Now off of 8x air dash, you automatically go up, and if you hold back, you go forward, and if you hold down, you go down. But we can absolutely do 8Y into that, into, oh no, you can't do it. I don't know. But Blaziken got buffs. Blaziken players don't seem excited. I'm excited. You should be excited. Character's good. Don't listen to nobody. Sceptile. Sceptile needs to chill out, dog. Sceptile needs to take a fucking breather. Sceptile got a new cancel off of his 6YY. So he can now 6YY, hang, and then JY. And what this actually does for him is, I probably can't show it here because I don't remember the combo and I haven't practiced it. But you can do the launcher, and then hang, and then do 8JY, and do like big side switch combos off of it with Sceptile. If you go to Thanks Swalot's Twitter, that's at Thanks Swalot. He has a lot of combo videos up he's been putting, but Sceptile, Sceptile, that shit's crazy. And I think that's everyone I wanted to talk about. Krogunk got more tracking on his bursts, and it has more invincibility frames now. Gengar got a new Permeate, which doesn't do that much for him. And we're gonna end this on the one that matters, the big one that matters, the big one that matters. This is so exciting. We're going to Blue Dome. I'm so excited. So excited. So Empoleon got increased walk speed. Look at this. Look at how fast he is. And those of you guys who don't know about Empoleon, haven't played Empoleon, you guys won't appreciate this. But, like, look at his walk speed. Look at him go. He's in there, dude. He's going. Like, his back walk speed still isn't great. But, like, look at him go. He can just walk right up and just grab you. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat, guys? But, yeah. So we're going to end it off on that. That's my 3 characters, plus some honorable mentions, plus a little bit of support discussion about my 3 characters in particular. But I think that's just about everybody on this list that I was going to mention. One more. Because Suicune got to glow up too. All these Pokemon posting their new selfies on Twitter, and they looking fabulous. All these Pokemon. But Suicune got to glow up. Suicune can now cancel Hydro Pump. So now you can get a knockdown, you can fake Hydro Pump, and then you can grab, which is awesome. You can also get your knockdown, you can fake Hydro Pump, and then you can back jump, and you can cancel JA now. So you can cancel that shit, and that's really cool. And what's cool about it is that it wouldn't be as amazing if you fell slower, but because you fall so fast, it's like actually a thing. I also like how it's just his air tech animation. Like, all the new moves in this patch have been reused animations, which I think every new move in Pokken has been reused animations. It's cool. I really like how they do that, but it's just funny to me that it's his actual, like, air tech animation as he spins back. So that's neat. But yeah, so Suicune got that shit. That cancel's really cool. It's not quite as fast as his 5x cancel, because that's really quick, but this is like takes a little bit of a second there, but it's still good. It's still pretty nice. Oh, and they increased the hit stun on 2Y. So 2Y, I believe, is a true block string now. Not positive, but let's double check right quick. Also, the air cancel is not affected by speed buffs. Alistair confirmed. So yes, that is a true block string. So that's cool. That was a problem before. And then the other thing is that they changed his They changed his 5. So you see when he hops there in his 5YYY, that little hop right there. Apparently, he used to be considered airborne during that. Like when all 4 of his feet come off the ground for that 1 second, he was considered airborne, and so it would trigger Rotom. But they've changed it so that's no longer airborne, and I'm like, I didn't know we needed that change because I didn't know that was a thing, but that's cool, I guess. So, but that is the Pokken Tournament 1.3.2 patch for those characters. Every character got something cool. I keep saying we're done, and I keep forgetting that there's more. There's so much in this patch, dude. This is the cancel patch. There's so much canceling and just frames, and it's so exciting. But Pikachu got a new 8x cancel, where he can how do I do it? He can cancel like that. So what's crazy is you can 8x and then you can cancel and then you can JY. Like, it's so wild. It's so cool. I love it. Look at it. It's the coolest. And everyone was freaking out. I remember when like we were all in voice chat and Balamar took Pikachu and he did that and he just started like laughing hysterically and we're like, what is it? And then we all did it and then we were all laughing hysterically. And then I'm gonna do this last one and cut myself off because we're at 36 minutes and I gotta go do stuff. So but Lucario's burst mode got nerfed. It doesn't last as long now, so that's cool. But Lucario did get a new move in burst mode. He has an air dash now, so that's cool. Air dash. It's kind of slow. It doesn't really seem to do much for him, but it'll be cool for like if you're right here and somebody throws a projectile, you can jump over it and then JX or something maybe. Yeah, because this JX is a really good trajectory in burst, especially. So you can probably do stuff with that. But that's neat. It's not quite. It's not quite Mewtwo's like instant jump air or instant air JY, but it's something. And I think he got a cancel on Aurasphere on JA as well. No, did he not? I thought he got a cancel on Aurasphere. I guess not. Let me double check the patch notes real quick. Lucario burst mode can. In burst mode he can cancel out of Aerial Aurasphere. So let's see that real quick. No? No? Why can I not cancel out of Aerial Aurasphere? No? Alright. Well, he can do that apparently. I don't know how to do it, but burst mode Aerial Aurasphere can be canceled. 6Y can avoid some highs, so now that ducks things. And burst mode got reduced burst mode duration. So I believe he lost 1 second on his burst mode. So, but hey, it's something. At least he didn't get buffed like Braixen, who received a new jump in option. Braixen's jump in is now, it's the thing where she spins the stick. It's the stick spinning animation, but she just falls while doing it. So it's kind of like Mewtwo's falling JY. So now she has a JY option for jumping in, which, she really needed that. That character wasn't very, anyway. But that is patch 1.3.2. We'll cut myself off officially. Really cool patch. Couple characters got kind of bodied. Chandelure lost some stuff. Darkrai's not doing so great. Aegislash's King Shield got bodied, so now it's super easy to punish with Hyper Beam. But in general, everyone mostly got buffs. And some of them were game-changing. Like, I think Empoleon's are going to be... We talked about it last time in the patch video, actually. But Empoleon's changes are going to be really big for him. Thanks Wallet says he's mid-tier now, which is exciting. Mewtwo's changes, play better. Flat out, just play better. And you will get burst. And you'll be good. Blaziken is, like, so good. I'm so excited for Blaziken. And Swillow is, like, the only person who sees. Like, Swillow sees how good. But Alistair says that burst Blaziken is best burst in the game. So, Blaziken players, show the world. Show the world. I know you have it in you. And you know you have it in you. But Blaziken's really good. Pikachu is absurd. Pikachu's buffs in this patch. Oh, God, Pikachu. And Weavile is... Toon Swablu says that Weavile might get banned. So, Weavile could be our first ban, according to Toon Swablu. Garchomp is now top 5. Everybody's saying that Garchomp is like actually like stupid. Like what they did to Dig was what we wanted, but it was too much. Like we didn't understand how much power we were giving Garchomp. But Garchomp's better now. Shadow Mewtwo's better now. Blastoise is better. Scizor's better. Yeah, it's a great patch, dude. I'm really excited. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to respond. I know that I talk really fast in these videos and I forget stuff a lot of the time and I repeat myself a lot, but I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that your character got buffs. I hope if your character got nerfs, that all goes well in your future competitively. Go to your locals. And yeah, support the game. Support your character. Play Gengar. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.